This non-original 1969 Corvette gets a major transformation in the form of a GM LS3 and a 6-speed manual on this episode.
I think the 1969 Corvette is about the best looking version of that third generation Corvette body style. This style came out in 1968, so the 69 was the second year, meaning the factory was able to work out some of the production bugs of the first year of the new design. And the design is very cool. It's nice, it's lightweight. There are very thin chrome bumpers and the elegant looking side gills on the fenders. And this was a time period before these cars had to have crash bumpers that were bigger and heavier and a lot of plastic. So I think they look good with a lot of small trim on them. And today our customer brought us a 1969 Corvette Roadster to get some upgrades.
And that's a touchy subject because if you're playing with Corvettes, there are certain factors to keep in mind that might have an effect on the usability and the value of a car like this.
So for example, if somebody has a 1969 Corvette factory fitted with a 435 horse 3-deuce 427 and a 4-speed, well, that's a car you don't really want to mess with because changing it is going to alter its value. So if it's original, you might want to leave it in original paint and leave it alone. If the driveline is gone, however, well, then it opens up a little more freedom. I mean, you certainly don't want to transplant a new engine into something that originally had an L88, for example, because you'd completely kill the value. But a car like this one came to our shop already missing the original engine, and somebody had previously done a lot of modifications to the suspension and brakes on the car, so changing it around a little bit isn't really going to hurt the value.
This particular car was built in the last week of March 1969, and it came factory equipped with a 300 horsepower 350 cube V8 and a 4-speed manual transmission.
Really the only options that were added were a removable hardtop and the high back bucket seats. So it is wearing its original color of Monza red, although it was repainted at some point, and the body's got a few little nicks and dings here. So our customer didn't have a whole lot of guilt when he wanted to modify this car to make it a better performer. These are all things to consider when working on old Corvettes. By the time our shop picked this car up, our customer had owned it for 7 years or so, and he only had driven it a couple hundred miles.
It didn't run hardly at all. It had a severe carburetor flooding problem. It didn't really make much power, smoked, burned oil, didn't shift very well. It was pretty much no fun other than to look at.
The V8 team and the owner came up with a plan to retrofit this 1969 Corvette with a modern Corvette driveline.
And we're taking the anemic, worn-out 350 out of the car and replacing it with an aluminum LS3 V8 making 485 horsepower. And we're also going to couple that to a 6-speed manual transmission from Modern Driveline so that now this car will have the reliability and responsiveness of a new Corvette, but we're still keeping that original look.
Initially, you'd think putting an LS3 in a Corvette's pretty easy. LS3s came in Corvettes a little later down the line, and so did T56 6-speeds. However, early Corvettes don't have a lot of space, even with the stock drivetrains. So we knew going into this that getting everything to fit between accessory drive and the transmission was going to be a challenge.
When the car arrived at our shop, we could barely get it off the trailer. It didn't want to run. It sputtered real bad. We found out it had a float stuck in the carburetor, so it was flooding out real bad. Even unsticking the float didn't really help the way this thing drove, so we kind of pushed it around. And the first thing we do with any car that comes into our shop for maintenance or restoration is an extensive inspection. We want to make sure that the customer knows what they have before we start doing any improvements or modifications. So we put the car up on the lift and inspected the suspension, brakes, all the systems on the car, made notes of what worked and what didn't.
During our inspection process before we worked on the car, we did notice somebody put a lot of work into it. There were some upgrades to the rear suspension, the tow rods were changed, had a composite spring instead of the steel spring, new bushings all around. So somebody definitely intended to make the car drivable, but kind of stopped at the suspension and didn't go much farther.
Somebody had gone through and rebuilt the original brakes, but we weren't quite happy with the performance of those, so we're going to upgrade those to some Willwood brakes. On the top side, there are certain systems that don't really work very well. The radio didn't work, and the customer wanted us to add air conditioning to this car and modify the gauge layout a little bit so it was a little more user-friendly. We're also going to upgrade a few convenience items like the headlights and wipers from vacuum-powered to electric-powered using some parts from Detroit Speed. Although this car is wearing its original Monza red color, it had been repainted quite a while ago, and today it's showing some signs of wear, a few chips and dings. So we go around the car and put little yellow tape marks and photograph all that so that the customer knows the condition of the car when it came in. The paint is not a priority for this go around. He wants to be able to get in and drive the car and not really worry about getting it scratched up. Maybe in the future it'll get a repaint, but for now it's just for documentation purposes.
We're starting our renovations by installing some Detroit Speed upgrades on our '69 Corvette when V8 TV returns.